Hello everyone, it's Emily here at Textile Express and we're in our main curtain room today because I wanted to talk to you about Pantone's colour of the year, which for 2024 is Peach Fuzz. So I've pulled out a selection of fabrics that I think meet the Peach Fuzz brief, just for anyone that's looking for inspiration on how to use this gorgeous new and trending colour within their interiors. So Peach Fuzz, it's being described as a warm and modern yet elegant tone, and I think personally one of the brilliant things about it is that it's actually very close to verging on a neutral. So obviously it's got this sort of pinky fleshy tones to it, almost slightly like a very soft corally colour, but we've been seeing a lot of sort of clay tones, spice tones in interiors, and this is just taking it a bit more muted, a bit softer. So I think it can work really well in colour drenching situations. So you could cover the walls with it and then still also use a curtain, perhaps in a textured fabric, and it's neutral enough that it's not going to look overpowering in your interiors. So it's a fresh colour, but it's also pretty timeless, as you'll see from the selection of designs that I've got around me. Quite a few of them are sort of more classic, traditional designs, so it still fits well with that brief. You're not going to be going for anything too modern, so don't be scared or put off by it. But equally, I've got some slightly more contemporary prints to show you as well that are also using this sort of gorgeous Peach Fuzz colourway. So we will start off looking at the plain that I picked, which is our Clark & Clark Alva fabric. Now, if you're not familiar with this is one of our very best selling plains. This is the Alva Tamarind colourway. So it can sit very well with the sort of spicy colours because you've got a slight hint of sort of orange within the Peach Fuzz. So yeah, it sits very well with your spice colours going towards rusts. Might be a nice way to combine this in your interior. The Alva fabric has a rub test of 180,000, so it's really, really hard wearing, perfect for upholstery for any situation, even in the most, where you need the most hard wearing fabric, whether it's your sofa that are getting jumped on by your kids and pets every day. It's the perfect sort of fabric. Obviously, being a velvet, it has a pile, so that's something to be aware of. If you don't like the look of the change in direction of the pile, then maybe steer away from that and go for a heavier cotton or a linen. But if you're happy with that velvet look, the Alva is a great choice for upholstery. But equally, it's got such a beautiful soft handle, which hopefully you can see in that small bit that I've pulled out there. That actually it still works really, really well for curtains and also for blinds. And within our workroom, we made up lots of curtains in this fabric and they look absolutely stunning. So in terms of a plain on the Peach Fuzz theme, that would be my top pick. So that's the Alva Tamarind. And then let's have a look at this one next. So I would call this a textured plain. It does have a herringbone design to it and it's quite a heavy weave. This is called it's by the company Olive and it's called Summit, and this is the shell colourway. So again, this has a fairly decent rub test, 30,000 rubs, so it could still be used on a sofa or chairs. Obviously it's not going to have the longevity of something like the Alva fabric, but at 30,000 rubs you're still getting a pretty good wearability on the fabric. Now this is a really lovely design. It's got a really heavy textured weave, and it's just quite nice if you don't want something entirely plain. If you're worried about that falling a bit flat in your interiors, then it's nice because you've got quite a few different thread colours running in this, quite a few different shades and tones within that Peach Fuzz colourway, and then also this sort of off-white ivory sort of neutral colour mixed in there as well. So you could pair these together. It might be really nice to have perhaps an armchair in this, and then pulling in the Alva for perhaps a sofa. You can mix the max cushions together. I always think it's really nice within an interior design scheme to mix a variety of textures. I think it just really helps elevate the scheme. So using something like this heavy weave alongside perhaps a print, and then also something with a beautiful soft texture like a velvet, I think they can all work really, really well together. Moving on to the prints that we've chosen to fit within the Peach Fuzz colour scheme. We'll go on to this one first, so I'm sure it's a classic that you're all quite familiar with now because it is one of our best-selling prints. This is the Boho fabric by Olive. As you'll see, it sits very well with the Summit Sage that we were just talking about. It is actually from the same collection. And in these prints, you can start to see what other colours you could pull into your scheme to work with the Peach Fuzz. So they've gone for this quite earthy gold and also this sort of inky grey blue colour. Both colours work really, really well. And there's quite a few interior designers that when they're looking at this new Peach Fuzz colourway, that they're saying that a more modern take on it could be to mix with some darker colours, and you can see the start of that in this design where they've pulled in this sort of charcoaly bluey grey. You perhaps could even go even darker if you wanted to make a bit more of a statement. But it's a really gorgeous iCat design. It's printed onto quite a heavy textured base cloth, so again it's just adding a lot of interest. My top pick for the boho fabric would probably be for curtains, but again it does have a rub test of 30,000, so could still be used for upholstery if you wanted to do something like a statement armchair. I know a lot of the photography for this Casbah collection, it has been used on armchairs, and you can see those on our website if you go on the collection page and look up the Casbah collection. Sticking on the more geometric scheme of things, the next collection that I wanted to have a look at is this Malibar collection. So this was inspired by Indian block printing techniques. This is a really pretty design. I think it's called Indo. Yeah, Indo. And this colourway, which I thought was very similar to the Pantone Peach Fuzz, is called Wild Rose. So the Malibar collection is great if you're wanting to coordinate lots of prints that are definitely on the same colour base cloth. This small scale, as I say, is called the Indo, but then they also have this larger leaf design, which is called Malibar. And there's also a stripe and a few other sort of trellisy designs that all sit within the collection, which are all available in this gorgeous wild rose colour. It's been a really popular collection, has a rub test of 20,000, so you're looking much more towards sort of lighter upholstery wear. Just about falls into the general upholstery wear there, but it's not going to be as hard wearing as the plains that we've looked at, or as this boho fabric. But really pretty designs, really popular sort of theme with them. The sort of block print look has been trending for quite a while now, and this collection is just a really nice take on that look. Then I will move on to this one, which is called Bellflower Pastel. This is a Clark & Clark fabric, and this is the one that I've chosen as a more contemporary take on the Peach Fuzz theme. So as you'll see, it's a floral design, and I guess is inspired by British Gardens. You can sort of see a foxglove in here along with a few other familiar flowers, but it's quite linear. The sort of brush style is much more contemporary than some of the sort of watercolour styles that we've had. Again, they've chosen similar sort of colours to mix similar colours are being paired with the Peach Fuzz. And then my final choice in this collection is from the brand new collection by Clark & Clark. This is the Secret Garden collection, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to pronounce this properly. Sizer, I think it's called, in the blush sage. So it's a gorgeous traditional style print. Again, it's printed on this really lovely natural background that is a cotton and linen mix, which you can even see the sort of natural sort of flax, I guess, that's coming from the linen plant within the weave. Gorgeous soft tones, and if you're wanting to incorporate a little bit of that peach fuzz colourway, staying on trend and keeping up with current colours, then this pattern is a really nice way of including that, because the pinks are just used in a few places, and then there's a lot more greens and greys and golds also mixed in with that. So that is a really beautiful option if you're into more traditional interiors. It would also sit very well if you've got beautiful wooden floors or something like that. I think it's such a nice soft but warm tone, this peach fuzz, that it sits really well with earthy materials, natural materials, and create a really warm but calming space for you to enjoy at home. So that's wrapped up for today. We'd love to know what your thoughts are on this peach fuzz trend. Is it a yes or a no from you? And if it's a yes, which of these fabrics is your favourite and which would you use in your interiors? Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, to like and subscribe. Thank you.